All right, so we're continuing by talking about our nonprofit initiatives and programs. So again, like I said, this semester we're gonna be focusing on a nonprofit organization. Each of you will choose an organization to work with, but I just want to talk about nonprofits in general, talk about what you guys are gonna be thinking about this semester, and show you some examples and break that down. So, just a quick introduction. Nonprofits exist to advocate and serve a particular community and/or cause. This semester, you will choose an existing nonprofit to work with and will create a logo and identity for an initiative and program that does not yet have its own visual identity or promotional assets. Okay, and then a detailed assignment sheet will be provided and we will break down each phase throughout the semester. So this is not me giving you the actual assignment yet. We're going to talk about that together in class, but this is the introduction to what we're going to be focusing on this semester. So I don't want you to get overwhelmed. I just want you to take in the information, and when you come to class, you'll be prepared and understand, where the conversation is going to go. So, when we talk about initiatives and programs, and I will use some nationally well known nonprofits as examples, when we talk about initiatives and programs, we think of so it's an umbrella, right? Think of it as an umbrella. There's an overarching organization. So if we think of Susan G. Komen, that's the Breast Cancer Foundation, right? Susan G. Komen. And then within Susan G. Komen, so Susan G. Komen is that's the mama bear, that's the big umbrella. And then the second tier we think of, they have Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure and Susan G. Komen More Than Pink Walk. So these are two different initiatives, right? They each have their own makeup. So one of them is a walk, the other one is a race for a cure, 5K, 10K, that sort of thing. And the walk is more of just a celebration of life, advocating, promoting for the cause for breast cancer awareness. And they both have different audiences and draw different crowds. So Susan G. Komen itself, the main organization, and then they have these two different initiatives and programs that they focus on. Okay, so let's take a look at how they structure that on their website. So if you go to their website, it will kind of tell you a narrative. There's a timeline. It talks about the history of breast cancer. And then if you go to the Race for the Cure to look at the race information about the race, it talks to you about the history, the significance, the world's largest and most successful education and fundraising event for breast cancer. So it boasts, hey, this is the biggest one and we're the most successful. And then let's break it down, still looking at initiatives and programs, but we're going to think a little bit more locally here. Think of, again, going back to United Way. Bowling Green has United Way of Southern Kentucky in this area, this region. They have Feed the Need, which is a canned food drive, and then they have Day of Caring. So I want to point out the branding, the identity, not super great for both of these events. So you guys will have to step it up a notch. But we have the United Way, right? That's our main organization. And then they produce these two main initiatives and programs. They have Feed the Need and they have Day of Caring. So both of these events and initiatives have different audiences, have different purposes, they have different visuals, and then even on the website, they have different makeup and information for the website. Okay, because eventually you guys are going to be doing some on-screen components. So if you hear me talk about those things, we'll definitely touch on each of those aspects individually. But again, we're planting the seed. So again, the overall idea here is United Way is our main organization, and then you will brand out a specific initiative or program. And I've got some student examples that we'll take a look at as well. So thinking about how these nonprofits incorporate technology. So again, it's not just the logo, it's not just the visual assets, but how is that deployed over different screens, promotional material, etc. So let's just take a look at some examples. Again, we're just looking at some examples, planting the seed here. So this one is actually MoGrow, so it's mobile grocery. This is a student concept. MoGrow is a nonprofit mobile grocery project of the Santa Fe Community Foundation. It delivers weekly shares of healthy foods to community sites across northern Mexico. Everybody deserves healthy foods at affordable prices. So this is kind of the big idea, right? The brand idea. And then this is the logo and the visual assets for it. So let's take a closer look at this. So the logo, again, they've broken it down here. They've got multiple versions of the logo. And again, it's really important that when you're developing a logo that you do have variations because, for example, this little guy would look great like as a social media icon, whereas one of these would look better in the corner on a website, right? So think about application and think about scalability. Here we go. We've applied these assets. We have the website on a phone. We're showing how that scales down. We have the front page of the website on a screen. And we've even created some promotional material and put the logo on a coffee cup. So again, thinking about the flexibility of those visuals. There's another example. Echo Yard is a platform that crowdsources human effort. So this is actually a nonprofit that's really driven by an app. So they actually have developed different initiatives that you can get involved in and upcoming events. So they've carried their branding across the app screen here with their logo, their colors, their fonts. So thinking about how you apply something visual across multiple surfaces. All right, and lastly, just another quick example. This is an app from a humane society called Buddy. And the Buddy app is designed to, it's essentially Tinder, but for pets. So it's designed to match you up with a shelter pet. So it's, a humane society that powers this app to match you up with a shelter pet. If we look here, this is their little style tile showing you the brand, talks about Buddy, talks about icons and the typography. And then on the left and right, we can see how these examples are applied to an interface. So again, you guys won't be working with app screens this semester. You'll just be focused on the logo, the visual identity, and eventually building the pages, so the front end of a couple of website pages. But I do want to show you some examples of how you apply brand to digital assets. Okay. So we're gonna, again, we'll cover mood boards later. We're gonna stop here, but I wanted to, again, talk to you guys about, remember, the nonprofit. We're gonna have the big organization, the parent organization, and then you guys will be working with a sub-initiative. That can be an existing initiative that they don't focus on enough, or you could develop your own. And again, we'll chat more about that in class, but I just want to introduce the idea of what we're going to be focusing on this semester.